Om Ganana Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavin Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrunvannotibhis Sida Sadhanam Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitriyavatu Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Namassarvebhyaha. I welcome all of you to this talk on Vedas. So the title of this talk is Introduction to Vedas. Actually, to understand our Bharatavarsha, our country, we need to understand Vedas. It is as simple as it is. To understand the inherent structure of this country, we need to understand what are Vedas in all the dimensions. For example, if I am knowing a person, if I say that I know this person, it not only means that I know his name, I know his character, I know how he responds in different situations, I know his ancestors, I know his capabilities, and there are many dimensions to say that I know this person. In the same way, knowing Vedas are in a very dimensional. It is not one dimension. If I say that I know some mantras, it doesn't mean that I know Veda. Okay. So in that way, to understand the intent of Veda, to understand the structure of Veda, to understand the purpose of Veda, to understand the content of Veda, we need to understand what all are allied to it. Okay. So today I will try to introduce some of these dimensions. I will not say that I will introduce everything. Whatever dimension is available, I can introduce all those dimensions in 1 hour, but I will try to introduce some dimensions. Okay. So first of all, the approach is something like this. So in southern India, whenever we invite a guest for a feast, we first of all showcase what all are prepared today in the feast. Okay. Pariveshanam. So we say that in Sanskrit. So to show the taste of Veda, I have to show what all are the structural components of Vedas, first of all. And what are the types of Vedas? Why are those Vedas divided or classified in such a way only? What are the allied components of Vedas? Why are they essential to understand the intent of Vedas? So to do that, I am going to take you through this kind of a pantha. Okay. So generally, we have a question. So any content which is in Sanskrit, is that related to Vedas? This is one question I encounter whenever I meet students. So they have a doubt. So everything come from Vedas? So did Veda tell me when to wake up and when to go to sleep? Is Vedas such a huge text where it is dealing with each and everything directly? So these are some questions we all have. So what is the paridhi or the boundary of Veda? What all does Veda tell? So this is one question we all should understand. So to understand it, we need to understand what all are the allied literature we have to the Vedas. For example, recently I have performed Upanayanam to my sun, second sun. So all the rituals or all the kriya kalapa which we have performed has a mantra allied to it. Mantra, this is the first technical word I am using other than Veda. So Vedas have mantras in it. What is a mantra? Mantra has twofold definition to itself. Number one is manana trayate iti mantra, continuous contemplation of a group of syllables which can actually give you a solution is called as a mantra. So these kinds of mantras are Anjaneyaya vidmahe Vayuputraya dhimahi Tanno Hanumat prachodayat, something like this. These kinds of mantras which we continuously utter, we continuously contemplate upon the sounds produced while we utter those sounds, that is called one kind of a mantra. So when I am talking about Veda mantra, there are some mantras which are like this, like the Gayatri mantra. We have Graha mantra. Each and every Graha, we have Navagrahas, so 9 Grahas. So each and every Graha also have a mantra related to it. And that mantra has a direct relationship with Vedas. So that is also a mantra. But not each and every mantra is like that. Prayoga Samaveta Artha Smarakaha mantra. So when we were performing the Upanayanam, not every mantra is like that, which is prescribed to contemplate continuously and attain a higher level of maturity, understand this world better. There are some mantras which are actually helping us to do the Kriya Kalapa or the Karma Kanda, or I don't have a better English word other than ritual. So the group of hymns or group of words which we use while doing a ritual is also called a mantra. Okay, so mantra has this twofold definition here. So there are some mantras which can help us to attain greater maturity. There are some mantras which help us to actually do the ritual. Okay, so in this way, when I come back to the Upanayanam, which I have performed, I have taken some mantras from different Vedas. I means not myself, but it is prescribed by a particular grantha which is called Grihya Sutra. According to the Grihya Sutra's instructions, I have taken some mantras, and according to Dharma Shastra prescriptions, I have performed it. Now, if somebody says that or asks whether everything, whatever I have performed in that Upanayanam, come from Veda, I might say no, not directly. Each and every mantra is taken from a different part of Veda, different type of a Veda. And it is arranged in such a way that I perform the Kriya Kalapa in a prescribed format. Now, there are some allied granthas to the Vedas which help me to arrange these mantras and do the ritual. And I cannot say that those allied granthas are Vedas. So we have to understand that everything which is in Sanskrit is not Veda. So what is the fundamental difference between a Veda and not Veda? So to introduce that, I have to introduce about the knowledge source. Okay? Knowledge source. The actual meaning of Veda is knowledge. So the knowledge source means, so Veda Moolam. From where did I get this Veda? And I have two sources to it. which are called Parushaya and Aparushaya. I will deal with that later on. And also I will talk about the knowledge types. So the direct Vedas and what are the allied literature we inherit. What are those types of knowledge? And where can I use the knowledge? And what is my goal? So we'll talk about the third and fourth concept in a brief manner, first and second concept in a detailed manner. And one another thing I want to ask is that whenever you have a query, you please ask that question right away, because I will be giving you small intervals to ask questions also. So you have to understand this picture first of all. What am I intending here? My intention is that the large source is Veda. I am depicting that as a large water body. From a large water body, there are some streams flowing down. Those streams can be called as Vedangas, Darshanas, Puranas, Itihasas, and other knowledge systems. Okay. So today we are going to understand Vedas in detail and understand why do we need the other streams also to be also. Okay. So first of all, when we are talking about the knowledge source, as we have understood that knowledge is nothing but Veda. Vedi. So I will be going through those structures also. Why Veda is knowledge and in what other meanings can we understand Veda. Okay. So the knowledge source, any knowledge source is of three types. We can classify the knowledge source into three. In our Bharatiya Vangmaya, in the Indic knowledge streams, we can understand that. So the first knowledge source is called as Siddha, Siddha Purusha, Siddha, Rishihi. So we have many names to this classification. So who is Siddha? Siddha is that enlightened soul who understood the game called karma. Okay. So in our Bharatiya culture, in our Indian culture, even we are from the south or north or west or east, we use this word called karma. And it has a very greater, larger meaning allied to it. What is karma? Karma is nothing but you are going to experience according to your papa and punya. The experience whatever we are having, or the experience what we had, or the experience what we are going to have. All kinds of experiences are based on papa and punya we have in our account. This is called karma theory. Whatever we get, that is what we have. Okay. Nothing is nothing we experience which has no cause. Whatever we are experiencing, it has a cause related to us. So that is the karma siddhanta. So Siddha is that a person who is not in this game called karma, because he understood the game called karma. For example, people who understand it, they come out of that cycling very easily. People who don't understand, for example, if I don't understand how a person responds, okay, if I don't understand why this shopkeeper is shouting against me, I will again indulge in that loop of scolding him, again being scolded by him. I don't attain the ultimate goal of going to a shop and getting my grocery. Just assume that there is a shopkeeper who is shouting against each and every customer he is getting. We don't know why. If we don't know why he is holding, then we cannot come out of the transaction easily. So this is a small example I am giving right now. So this Siddha is such a person who has gone through all kinds of sadhana. It might be yogic sadhana, it might be a tantrika sadhana, it might be a Vaidika sadhana, any kind of a sadhana. According to his Guru Parampara, he has gone through a sadhana. Now he is called a Siddha because he understood the structure of this life and he understood the game called karma. He is called the Siddha. So these Siddha Purushas are one such knowledge sources for us. And the second kind of a knowledge source is called a Sadhaka, who is trying hard to understand the game called karma. He is not totally immersed into the game of karma. He is not totally immersed into the transactional world. He is a little more matured than us. Who are we? We are Pamaras. Actually, we don't understand the game of karma. We are subjects of karma. We are experiencing our karma still now. According to our karma, we are experiencing sukha and dukkha. We are in this stage and we don't know how to come out of this cycle. We don't even know that there is a cycle called karma. So that stage is called Pama. So why am I talking about all these three things? Because there is a knowledge stream which is called as a Parushaya. And the knowledge source of such a stream is called Siddha. Only a Siddha Purusha can create or can actually envision apaurushayas. So that is why the word itself, the word apaurushaya itself means that it is not related to a Purusha. Who is a Purusha? A Purusha is a person who did not elevate himself from the boundaries of karma. He is called as Purusha. We all are Purushas. For example, this talk is rendered by me. I am the host of this talk. If I am using a statement something like this, I am still in the boundary of karma because I am still in the transaction. I am still saying that this is done by me, something like that. But a person who actually understood the whole structure of this life, whole creation, he is a Siddha Purusha and he is not in the boundaries of karma. Hence, he will not relate himself with anything. So, we can only understand such a personality when we actually have an experience of interaction with such personalities like the Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Mahaswamigal of Kanchipuram or Ramana Maharshi or Siddhas of that stature. When we interact with them, when we understand their process, then only we can understand that there are such people who know everything. So they are called as Sarvagnyas. So when a Siddha Purusha envisions, he just sees or hears something directly from the creator, when he is kind enough to actually tell about it, when he is kind enough to tell about it to us, Us means the Pamaras. Such kind of a literature is called as Veda. So that is why it is not related to that person only. It is actually about the whole creation and the creator and the life and the structure of this nature and everything. He doesn't relate himself to that literature because he knows that he did not create it. He's just envisioning it. Okay, for example, it's just like that. If I'm seeing a butterfly on a flowering plant, if I'm seeing it and I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying a butterfly on a flowering plant, I cannot say that I have created that plant and I have created this butterfly and the beauty of that butterfly is also created by me. I cannot say that. That is why the Siddha Purushas, whoever blessed us with Veda, Shruti, they did not entitled that this is created by me. And that is why these streams are called as Apaurushayas. And there are many names related to Veda. The names are Vedaha, Shrutihi, Amnayaha, Agamaha. There are many other names also. Brahma is also one other name. Okay. For example, in Upanayana, we have a ritual which is called as Brahmopadesha. Brahmopadesha is nothing but the Veda Upadesha itself to the newly, Vatu, who is now taken to the path of Sanatana Dharma. He is now a Vatu. He is called as a Vatu. And that Vatu is getting a Brahma Upadesha. Brahma Upadesha is nothing but the Veda Upadesha itself. Okay. So now we have understood about what are the names of Veda. Now, if you know Parushaya well, then you will understand what is Apaurushaya also. So these Parushaya Granthas are written by people called as sadhakas, who are in the way of becoming Siddha, who are following Siddha Purushas, can be called as sadhakas. Who are in the state of sadhana. Siddha Purushas can also be in the state of sadhana. For example, ourselves, we can be in the utmost state of maturity at some times, and in some times we might be foolish also ourselves. We encounter such situations. Okay. So these Siddha Purushas, when they are in the sadhana state, they want to enlighten their Shishyas. Always they want to enlighten the society. So in that state, they write something. See, here I am using the word they write something. Before I told that they saw something, they heard something. They are not entitling themselves with that kind of a literature that is called as Apaurushaya. And when they are entitling that, this is written by me. Good and bad related to this literature relates to me. Okay. In that situation, in that state, if we are creating something, that is called as Parushaya. My talk is also a Parushaya. I'm saying that it is my talk. Okay. The slide deck is prepared by me. So I say that it is a Parushaya. Whatever which is entitled to a person can be called as Parushaya. And these Parushayas are briefly Purana, Bhashyam, Stotram, Shastram. There are many things like that. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of Veda, the word Veda? So there are etymologies. So in Sanskritam, each and every word has an etymology related to that. For example, if we hear the word Kritagnyata, we use the word Kritagnyata to say, I am thankful to you. Kritagnyata. Kritam janaditi kritagnaha. Kritagnyasya bhavaha kritagnyata is the etymology. So the meaning of that is, Kritam is the good which is done. somebody helped you to attain something. So that is kritam. Jnaha means yaha janati sa jnaha. Who is remembering or acknowledging something is called as jnaha. So kritajnata means when I remember and acknowledge the good done by somebody, then I am kritajnaha. And the state in which I am is kritajnata. Okay. In this way, each and every word has a etymology related to that. In that way, the word Vedaha also has etymology, different etymologies. There are multiple meanings related to that. So the first meaning or the most important meaning which we take is Jnanam. Okay. Vidjnane, Vidyate iti Vedaha. Vetti iti Vedaha. So there are many, types of forms in that also. So I can use the word Veda for knowledge. I can use the word Veda with a sattayam, means it is located. What is located? Solutions are located. Sadhana is located in this literature. Hence it is called as Veda. So I can use the word Veda to say that there are certain kinds of sadhanas and solutions located in this literature. Hence it is Veda. I can say that it is knowledge. Hence it is Veda. Vida vicharane. Vicharanam is actually contemplation. So in the Vedas, we find in different places conversations between Guru and Sishya, conversation between Yama and Nachiketa. Different personalities converse, and that conversation is a churning. We contemplate upon something, and we find these kinds of contemplations in particular kind of a literature. Hence, it is also called as Veda. Vidilr labhe. You find something. You find solutions. So the first and the last etymology is very much near to each other. So in this way, there are different meanings to the word Veda. And what are the types of Vedas we have? Actually, most of you know the different names of Vedas. We have Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Veda or Atharva Veda. So we have 4 Vedas. What is the difference between each and every Veda? Why should we have 4 Vedas? Why not 40 Vedas? Why not 3 Vedas? Why not 2 Vedas? Why not only 1 Veda? So to this question, everything is right. If I say that there is only 1 Veda, it is also true. Because Veda is nothing but the knowledge which is seen or heard by people who are in the most matured state of being. So that is Veda. That can be 1. But it is classified to be 4 by Veda Vyasa. That's why he is called as Veda Vyasa. Vyasa Maharshi, Parashara Sutta. So he divided or classified the Vedas into 4 according to the Viniyoga or the application. Okay. So first one, what is first one? Rig Veda. Rig Veda. Rik and Veda. Rik. What is Rik? Ruchyate stuyate iti Ruk. So praising Devata. Devata Stuti is the most important content of Rigveda. Rigveda has many suktas in it. Sukta is again nothing but another word used for stuti. Stuti means praising something. So in Rigveda, you find many suktas. Many suktas. Suktas related to all kinds of devatas. And what are devatas? What is devata? Devata is nothing but the natural energy we have in this world. For example, I have the Shakti to channelize the sound into words, meaningful words. This is one Shakti I have. And this is called as Vak Shakti. You all are understanding what I say. That is Buddhi Shakti. You have something called Buddhi Shakti. And the water has the ability to grow anything, to nurture life. So that is the Shakti it has. And the sun has the Shakti to actually Parinama Shakti, means he is capable of making a raw mango into a ripe mango. He has many abilities. That is one Shakti. Okay, the Shakti of obstacle, who can create obstacles, that is one Shakti. In this way, there are many energy forms, many functions in and around us, and all those functions or abilities are called as devatas. We are giving a form to those energies. And each and every energy is praised, actually. So praising is one form in which you understand that Shakti. And see, for example, if somebody is praising you, you will feel very happy. You will do whatever that person wants. So this is a very natural thing, natural transaction. So in that way, in the form of praising, we are also understanding the structure or the inherent qualities of those energies. And when we are in the boundary of karma, we are also getting some favor from those energies also. So Rigveda is used that way. So, so here you can see all the Vyakhyana of Rigveda also. I will not go through everything right now. We have less time. And the second Veda we have is called as Yajurveda. Veda is common. The word is Yajuhu, Yajur. So what is that? Yajuhu means Yajnera Yajushabdaha Utpadyate. So Yajuhu is always related to Yajna. Yajurveda has all those mantras which are used in Yajna. And one another thing we have to understand is that the application of Vedas are in different levels. The fundamental or the most important application of Veda is to perform Yajnadi Kratu. Again, I am using the word, what you say, Kratu, Yajna Kratu. Kratu is karma. It's not ritual. The actual meaning of the word ritual is different, but we don't have another English word. Kratu or karma. So Yajurveda is used or applied mostly in that. And Veda is having different applications. For example, to understand the inherent concept of life, also you can contemplate on the Veda mantras. Contemplation of Veda mantras will enable you to understand this life, this world, this universe, these processes which we are going through also. But it can also have some other dimensions, like, for example, if you are going through the Upanishads, it is talking about the inherent tattva or property or quality of the creator. It's talking about Brahma. It's saying that he is not very much different from you. Ahameva tattvamasi. Ahamevedam sarvam. So it's talking about the principle of creator. What are the principles of creator? Okay. In such way, we can also contemplate on Veda mantras and find solutions to those problems which we are facing in day-to-day life. Like, we start something and you will not attain the end result of it many a times. You are very depressed about it. So there are some processes by which you can attain that Vighna Nivarana. by Veda mantras itself. By using Veda mantras, there are some yoga prakriyas related to that. There is something called upasana. There is another thing, upasana. This is one other dimension of Veda. Upasana is that which we have told. Mananat trayateti mantra. When you are actually continuously contemplating on one mantra, that is one type of knowing the meaning of Veda. So here, most part of Vedas are dedicated to yajna prakriya. What is yajna? Yajna is devatodeshena dravyatyagaha. Leaving something which is related to you to attain something to devatas. That is called as yajna. So the mantras which are used in this yajna prakriya are mostly related to Yajurveda. So this is the difference, fundamental difference. So in Rig Veda, you are only praising the natural forces. So in Yajurveda, you are actually having those mantras which are related to the yajna prakriya. So in the third dimension, or the third classification of Veda is Samaveda. So the definition of Samaveda is something like this: Geetishu Samakhya. So the stuti, whatever we are doing to the devatas, when it is combined with a certain kind of a swara, then it is called as Samaveda. Samaveda has very different approach to the stutis. It is something like a song. The origin of any kind of a song is from Samaveda. That's what elders say. All kinds of songs originate from Samaveda. Samaveda is the mother of all kinds of swaras, rhythm. So that's what they say. And the fourth thing we have, fourth Veda we have is Atharva Veda or the Atharvana Veda. Both are the same. So this Atharvana Veda is actually enabling the user to get rid of certain kinds of problems he faces when he is in the boundary of karma. So it is very much useful for people like us. We all are bounded by karma. We have lots and lots and lots of problems, day-to-day problems. We have higher problems, we have lower problems, we have medium kind of range of problems. We have many, many, many problems. And there are lots and lots of prakriya, procedures introduced in Atharva Veda to get rid of all these kinds of vigna. Okay, so this is the general classification of Vedas. And each and every Veda is again divided into 4 according to its utility. Okay, the first classification is called as Samhita. So I can say that there is Rig Veda Samhita, Yajurveda Samhita, Samaveda Samhita, Atharvana Veda Samhita. What is Samhita? The direct meaning of the word Samhita is group. Group is called as Samhita. So what is grouped here? Mantras are grouped here. Mantras means Prayoga Samaveta Artha Smarakaha Mantraha. As I have told earlier also, the center of Veda is to use Veda mantras in Yajna Adi Kratu. Okay, so the grouping of such kinds of mantras is called as Samhita Bhaga. So in these Samhitas, you will find the mantras which are related to Yajna Adi Kratu. I don't say that there is no part which is taken from Aranyaka or Upanishada. There are sometimes some mantras are also taken from Upanishad and Aranyaka and Brahmana also, but mostly the mantras are taken from Samhita to perform yajna. Number one. Number two, you have Brahmana Bhaga. Brahmana Bhaga, again, you will have Rigveda Brahmana, Yajurveda Brahmana, Samaveda Brahmana, Atharvana Veda Brahmana. And each and every Veda also have different shakhas. Okay, I'm not going into the details because we don't have much time today. There are different shakha, means different types again. Rigveda has different types. Yajurveda has different types. Like we have Shukla Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda, Samaveda has many types. And each and every type has different Brahmana Bhaga, different Samhita Bhaga. Okay. So for Krishna Yajurveda, it's called as Taittiriya Brahmanam, Taittiriya Aranyakam. Okay. So in such a way, there is again a Brahmana. What is Brahmana Bhaga? Brahmana Bhaga, we can take as a manual. It's talking about what to do, when to do, how to do. All those things are told in the Brahmana Bhaga. And also we have this Aranyaka Bhaga. The word Aranyaka itself is suggesting that it is done in a, it is used in a Aranya. Aranya means a forest. A forest means where there are very less people, very much natural, something like that. So there are very less artificial things in a Aranya. So why we need such a place? To contemplate upon the reality, to understand the real intent of this life, of this world, of this universe. You need to relate yourself with that thing which created everything. So to contemplate upon that, you need to be very far away from things which are created. So to come out of this boundary called karma, you need to create an environment for yourself. So that is why in the ashrama also, Vanaprastha ashrama, Vanaprastha, Vanam is again an aranya. Vanaprastha is that which is related to a forest. Okay, in Aranyaka Bhaga, we have things which are related to Upasana. Upasana is nothing but becoming one with the deity. That is Upasana. Tadatmya Bhavana. Upasya, Upasaka, Tadatmya Bhavana. So for that, there are some processes which are involved. So those kinds of processes are introduced in this bhaga called Aranyaka Bhaga. Each and every Veda has these things. Each and every Veda has Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and also Upanishad. Upanishad is directly talking about the structure of the creator or the Brahma, Parabrahma, who created everything, who is inside and outside of everything. Okay, they talk about the Brahma Tattvam there. And this Upanishad is actually the Vedanta. The other name for Upanishad is called Vedanta. Vedanta means Vedasya Antaha Vedantaha. Anta means at the end. So, why at the end? What we get at the end? For example, if you are creating juice out of sugar cane, or you are creating juice out of orange or something, at the end you get the juice, the rasaha, saraha we say as. So the sara or the rasa of entire Veda Samhita or the Veda Vangmaya can be called as the Upanishad. And it is not prescribed for everyone. You need to have certain level of maturity to understand it. And that is why The Veda is more focused on the ritual or the karma kanda, because while you go through this process of karma kanda, you are attaining the chitta shuddhi. When your chitta is nothing but the manas. When your chittam is not polluted, then you can understand and realize the eternal reality. So, first of all, the focus, because most of us are not that matured. So, to address most of us, the stress is more on the karma bhaga than the jnana kanda. The focus or the stress is more on the karma kanda according to the users and less on the jnana kanda, because we find very less matured audience. Okay, so that is the Upanishad bhaga. So if you have any questions, you can ask me right now. Otherwise, I will go further.
Namaste, Acharya. What is this apastamba that was mentioned in that slide?
So each and every, so we were talking about the Parushaya granthas which are allied to Veda granthas, Vedika granthas. So Apastambha is an Acharya who wrote the Apastambha Gruhya Sutra. And these sutras are manuals to perform the Karma Kanda. So according to his Vachanam, the Veda Vibhaga is different. So according to Apastambha, Veda is only of two types, Mantra and Brahmana. So he is not taking the Aranyaka and Upanishad type. It's his own version. So according to his version, Veda is again divided into two, only Mantra and Brahmana.
So this comes under Kalpa, is it?
Yes, it comes under Kalpa. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, and again, when we are understanding that Veda's emphasis is more on Karma Kanda, each and every Veda has a different kind of a Rhythmik. Rhythmik is that person whom we use to do yajnas. Each and every Shrauta yajna means that yajna which is prescribed by the Shruti. Shruti is nothing but the Veda. So there are yajnas which are prescribed by the Shruti. There are yajnas which are not prescribed by the Shrutis also. For example, we all know this Chandi Homa, Ganapati Homa, Vastu Homa, etc. These were not actually directly prescribed by the Shrutis, but these were prescribed by the Smritikaras. Okay. Smriti is again allied to Veda. It's not directly the Veda. It is allied to Veda. Smaranam is nothing but remembering something. So our rishis have remembered something told in the Vedas, and they have created some smarta yajnas also. And this Vastu Homa, Chandi Homa, and Ganapati Homa has some parts of Veda mantras used, but it is not directly prescribed in the Shruti or the Veda. So that is the fundamental difference. So when I have to perform a Shrauta Yajna or a Yajna which is prescribed by the Veda, I need to have 4 kinds of Ritviks there related to each and every Veda. So the Ritvik whom I take from Rig Veda is called as a Hota, and a Ritvik whom I take from a Yajur Veda is called as Advaryu. A Ritvik whom I take from a Sama Veda is Udgata, and the Ritvik whom I take from Atharva Veda is a Brahma, and myself I will be the Yajamana. Okay, so in this way there are many other things. So now, to actually protect the Vedas as it is, there is something called Vedanga. Vedanga. So we should understand how Vedas were protected. How were they learning Vedas. Vedas were learnt in a Gurukula. And Guru Ucharanam Anu Ucharati iti Adhyayanam, Veda Adhyayanam. So when I learn Veda, it's something like this. The Guru will be uttering a part of Veda, and I will be uttering that twice soon when the Guruji is uttering. For example, I will just render once and let you know. Apo hishtamayo bhuvaha, says the Guru, and the Shishya says Apo hishtamayo bhuvaha, Apo hishtamayo bhuvaha. In this fashion, the entire Veda is taught to the Shishya. So it's all Shravana Parampara. It was not written somewhere. So to protect that as it is in all the dimensions. So the Vedas have many dimensions. When I render the Veda mantra, you can hear it. Okay. So it should have some sound and it has some rhythm. Apo hishtamayo bhuvaha. There is some rhythm allied to it. And there will be some meaning allied to it. And there will be some applicability allied to it. And there are many words in that mantra also, like apaha, hi, shtha. There are words. So each and every Vedanga actually protects each and one dimension of it. For example, the rhythm is taken care by the chandas. The pronunciation of that Veda mantra is taken care by Siksha. Okay? How is it derived? That part is taken care by Vyakarana, because it is all about words and meanings. How is this particular kind of a meaning derived from this word? And why is this word changing its form? All those things are taken care by Vyakarana. And the Kalpa is talking about the applicability. Where should I use this mantra? How should I use this mantra? Are there any other materials that I have to use while applying this mantra? All these things are taken care by Kalpa. And Nirukta is nothing but a dictionary kind of a thing, where it is talking about the etymology, meaning, same meaning, different words, same meaning. All those things are taken care by Nirukta. And Jyotisha is taking care of when should I use this Veda mantra. Okay, it's talking about the time. Okay, in this way, we have a protective shield to our Vedas, which are called as Vedangas. Siksha, Vyakaranam, Chandaha, Jyotisham, Niruktam, and Kalpa are its names. And further, these Vedas are also having something called Upavedas. Rigveda has an Upaveda which is called Ayurveda. Upaveda we can take as the applied Vedic sciences in the day-to-day life, transactional world. So how can I use the Vedic concepts in my day-to-day life to solve my problems? So these Upavedas are Ayurveda. Ayurveda deals about body, mind, soul, the diseases we get in all the levels. And Dhanurveda, it's to protect yourself, protect the country, protect the thought. All those things are dealt by Dhanurveda. Gandharva Veda is an Upaveda of Samaveda. It's talking about the science of sound, rhythm. Okay. And the Artha Shastra is about governance. Okay. So in this way, all these things, 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, and 4 Upavedas all together are called as Vidyasthana. Okay. In the Gurukulas, students were taught in all these areas. So that is why our approach is a holistic approach. When a person is trained in a Gurukula, he is actually identified by the Guru in which Veda he should be trained, in which kind of a Vedanga he should be trained, in which kind of an Upaveda he should be trained, and then he will also be taught in all the subjects in a brief manner, and some subjects are chosen where he will be trained in an in-depth manner. Okay, so generally Vidyasthanas are taught in Gurukulas. And there is one another very important dimension which is called as Darshanas. So these Darshanas are actually to create the perception for the seeker. How should I perceive this life? How should I understand this world? For example, we have 6 Astika Darshanas. There are Nastika Darshanas also. Nastika Darshanas means people who don't believe in Vedas. People who don't like the way of life prescribed in Vedas. Okay, such darshanas are also there. These can be generally translated as philosophies, but the meaning of darshana is very much different from philosophy. For example, each one of us have a different taste. We call that as riti. Each one of us don't respond in the same way. We respond in a different way. Some of us take this life in a very materialistic way. Some of us lead our life according to the rule. Some of us want to train ourselves. Okay. Some of us only want to live a philosophical life. They don't want to indulge in day-to-day transactions. Okay. For each and every kind of a seeker, there is a different way to seek the ultimate reality. The reality is the same, but the way of approach is different. Okay. So we have Nyaya and Vaiseshika, which deal with the materialistic kind of a personality, and they train us how to do the argument, the actual argument, and establish the truth. Okay. And we have Yoga and Sankhya, which deal about the training, inner training. We have inner engineering, the new word coined by Sadhguru. And all those things are taken from Yoga and Sankhya, actually. And we have people who go according to the book. What is told in the book, we'll only go according to it. Our life is a philosophical life. Such kind of a approach is of Mimamsa and Vedanta. And all these things are allied. All the Vidyasthanas are allied, and all the Darshanas are allied. So, in totality, we have 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, 4 Upavedas. We have 14. 14 plus 6, we have 6 Darshanas, 6 Astika Darshanas. So, on total, we have 20 different kinds of studies which are related to Vedas. And upon that, we have many bhashyas, commentaries. Bhashyas is nothing but the commentaries. We have sutras, which are again allied to these knowledge streams. We have stotras. We have Purana itihasas, which are giving you the actual stories of people who have gone through all these seekings and became Siddha Purushas. It's talking about people who want to be more matured, who want to elevate themselves. It's talking about instances and processes which are involved. Like they are talking about vratas. They are talking about people who don't follow the prescribed way. They are talking about people who actually follow and attained the ultimate reality. So there are different literature which is allied to Vedas, which is leading to the truth. Okay, so this is the introduction to Vedas which I wanted to make today. So if you have any questions, I am open to take your questions. There are many other things which I have to cover, but because of the time constraint, I am not going further into that explanation. So if anyone have any query, you can please ask me. Thank you, Ramji.
Thank you. Namaste. So what is the typical time period if one were to study all the different branches of Vedas? I know there can't be a time period, but if you
Yeah, actually, we have to understand what is learning a Veda.
Yeah.
So there are many kinds of learning Veda. Number one is how can I pronounce Veda? That is one kind of learning Veda. Number two is how can I apply Veda mantras? Number three, how can I understand the content of Veda? So you have to first of all identify what dimension of Veda you want to learn. If you want to learn the content of Veda, the approach is different. The time frame always depends on the rigor you have. I know people who have completed learning the entire Veda in 3 years, 4 years also. I know people who don't complete at all. So how much rigor you have and what dimension of Veda you want to learn? So do you want to learn how can I apply these Veda mantras? Then you have to approach a Shrauta Guru. If you want to know the pronunciation of Veda, you have to then approach a Mantra Guru. If you want to understand the content or the essence of Veda, then you have to approach a Tattva Guru.
Okay.
Yeah, Veena Krishna ji.
I wanted to ask, how do they say that you are Rig Veda, you're from Samveda? How does that distinction come?
They know that we are going to have a lot of ambiguity. Our ancestors knew that. So that is why they have entitled each and every person to one Veda according to their Shakha. For example, I am a Krishna Yajurvedi. How did I know that? I know that according to my lineage. I ask my father. My father says that to me. Or else, there is some time that we don't have any relation with those paramparas, tradition. Then we ask our Guru, what Veda is related to me? Actually, all Vedas are related to everyone. But to actually go through all Vedas, it will take a lot of time of your life. So they have entitled one Veda to each person. And people who are more with more capabilities, they are learning 2 Vedas, 3 Vedas. We also have Chatur Vedis, 4 Vedas. They are learning, they are practicing, they are knowing the Tattva also.
Okay, thank you.
So what is yoga in this? What exactly is in Darshana?
Yoga is a Darshana.
Okay.
Darshana means the guiding principle towards the Tattva or the eternal reality. Drishyate anena iti darshanam. It's just like a lens. So yoga and Sankhya are both allied to each other, with each other. They both prescribe a certain process, yoga prakriya, like asana is one of them. We have yama, niyama, asana, pratyahara and many other things allied. So it is leading into yourself. Yoga is nothing but chittavritti nirodha. The journey from yourself to only yourself is yoga.
So what is this yoga? It's similar to
Yes, it's similar to the yoga which is more popular now.
Yeah.
The most popular thing is just a part of the yoga, which it is actually the darshana.
Okay.
Asana is only one part. Asana is one part or one process which is leading yourself to the original yourself without any pollution.
So Patanjali Maharshi has derived his principles from this.
See,
core.
again, all these things, Vedangas and Darshanas are Paurushayas. It is written by somebody. So Patanjali is the author of Yoga Sutra. Gautama Maharshi is the author of Nyaya Sutra. Kanada Maharshi is the author of Vaiseshika Sutra. Vyasa Bhagavan is the author of Brahma Sutra. So we have Jaimini Maharshi is the author of Mimamsa Sutra. Ishvara Krishna is the author of Sankhya Karika. So we have people, certain rishis who are related to each and every darshana.
Okay. This is very, very useful. Thank you, Professor Suryanarayan garu. Very useful.
I have one doubt. Can I
Yes,
ask?
sir. Yeah.
Like, see, when we read, means I know very little about Vedam and all. Just I learned like Agnimele Purohitam, Yatnyasya Deva Mrityujam, Hotaram, Ratnadhatamam and all. This is the first Veda mantra of Rigveda.
Yes.
And it is with Chando Bas and Chanto. Yeah. So my doubt, I don't know whether it is right or wrong. So somebody maybe have this thought in his mind, and on either on writing or the Shrutva, it has come to some different level of people. So but ultimately the origin is from somebody. No? This is what my doubt.
See, I sing a song, people hear that song and they sing that same song at their home also. So you are saying that Veda mantras are also something like that.
I don't know. It's my doubt. I don't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understood your doubt. If I am creating that song, if I have that notion that I am creating that song, then it is a Parushaya Sahityam, Parushaya literature. The literature which is attributed to one person is called as Parushaya. So, when a person is in the boundary of karma, he thinks that I made it, I am making it, I will use it. So see, this kind of a notion we have when we are in the boundary of karma. We all are in that position only. Because you are feeling that you are asking a question and I am feeling that I am answering this question. But those people who are in the highest matured level, they are just seeing everything. They are not attributing themselves to that. And we can't be in such a position because we all have a lot of ignorance. In that matured state, they don't have any ignorance, which means that they know everything. It's called a Sarvagnya Sthiti. In that position, they heard certain sounds, which are original sounds of the Creator. And they are so affectionate to us that they want to introduce or give the taste of what the Creator is saying. So that is why they have passed those sounds in the forms of mantras with all these things, with all these dimensions, the dimension of chandas, rhythm, the dimension of pronunciation, the dimension of meaning, the dimension of application, and many other things. And they have passed those mantras to us. So in a very materialistic way, if we see, you are correct, you might be correct. But it's not the philosophy behind the Veda mantra. That is why it's not attributed to one person. If we attribute to one person, it is bounded. If it is not attributed to one person, more dimensions evolve according to the maturity of the user. That is the beauty in Apaurushaya Sahitya. Hope I have answered you, Deveshanji.
Yeah, yes, sure, definitely.
So since Bhagavan Vedvyasa has collated all the information, is he a Siddha or a
That's what I'm saying. He is also a Siddha and a Sadhaka. in the sadhaka level, he was writing Vedanta Sutras for us.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
That's why I have given you an example of ourselves. We are sometimes very matured and we fall down sometimes.
No, thank you. Yeah.
So all these people who have written sutras like Patanjali Yoga Sutras and all they are sadhakas, right?
Sadhaka state. We cannot
Sadhaka
attribute that
state,
are
they
always
have
sadhaka.
written the sutras.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they are in the boundary of karma when they are writing these things.
Okay.
When they say that, at the end they said Patanjali Maharshina Maya Imani Sutrani Likitani, something like that. If they are attributing themselves writing these things, which means that it is again not to the level of Veda. The maturity of Veda, the knowledge source of the maturity of the knowledge source of Vedas are different from others. That's the difference I want to make.
Okay. Suryanarayan Garu, I think we have one more question, two more questions, interesting questions on the chat window. If you can.
Yeah. Can you say briefly what are and how do we apply the Vedas to the modern life? I mean, what way or how? What are the applications? So first of all, in a philosophical way, to understand this universe, how is it functioning? How should I understand the sad happenings which are happening to me? How should I understand? How should I come out of that personality, or how should I deal with such things? That is one thing. So if you understand the Upanishads, if you go through the training in the Upanishads, if you understand that, then you might understand that I should not relate myself with all these materialistic things because I am not such. That's what Bhagavan Shri Krishna told to Arjuna when he had that confusion whether I should fight with my own people or not. So that is one way of understanding. The other way is that there are some processes which are told, like Upasana. Upasana, there is something called Omkara Upasana. Omkara Upasana is one Upasana which is guiding you towards the eternal reality. In such way, there are many other Upasanas also. For example, if I don't have water, I can do the Varuna Sukta Japam. That is another kind of a Upasana Marga. If there are many obstacles in my life, to get out of those things, I can do that Upasana also. So, and other thing is that the logic which we are following in Nyaya and Vaiseshika also have some relation with the Vedas. Indirectly, they have some relations with the Vedas. The patterns of logic is actually derived from the Vedas. And Gautama Maharshi and Kanada Maharshi have actually structurized and collated everything into one grantha as Nyaya Sutra and Vaisheshika Sutra. Right now, we have many places or many instances where we can use those concepts, like how to write a research article, how to refute a person, how to find out faults in the reasoning of your opponent. These kinds of things also we can use from the Vaidika Marga. And also in our day-to-day well-being, day-to-day routine, all those things you can get instances from Ayurveda, suggestions from Ayurveda. You can actually create many technologies using Ayurveda. Ayurveda is telling about what kind of a mattress we have to use when we are going through this particular kind of a difficulty. A person who is facing a lot of back pain, what kind of a mattress he should use? What kind of a regime should he follow? All those things are prescribed there. We have to create some technologies using those concepts. So these are the applications that we can create. And actually in our institute, we have created some applications like that, which are called as Shastra maps, where we are creating some conceptual maps using Shastric query techniques, by which the computer itself will be in a state to understand and answer certain questions from large literature. Our Bharatiya Vangmaya is very, very large. So from such a very large literature, how can we answer certain questions automatically? So we are trying to use that there. And we are also trying to create a personality scale, how to create a personality scale using the Vedic concepts. And we are trying to use Jyotisha concepts to gauge a personality and help the HR or the actual employee to perform better also. So there are many ways in which we can create applications, sir. And Deepalaji, is Jaimini Maharshi of Mimamsa is the same who wrote Jaimini Sutras of Jyotisha? I don't know whether there are some Jaimini Sutras in Jyotisha, ma'am. So I cannot answer that because I don't know it. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. So I think we had a very fruitful session today. At our institute, we are offering different programs, like we have MSc Vedic Sciences, BSc Vedic Sciences, MA Sanskritam, and PhD programs we are offering. And we are also offering many standalone certification programs also. So we are offering something called Sanskritam bundle, where in 3 courses, the learner will be affluent in understanding any Sanskrit literature. And we have something related to integral psychology also, to understand what our ancestors thought about psychology, what was our thought about psychology. And in BSc Vedic Sciences and MSc Vedic Sciences, we are actually training the learner to understand the essence of the sciences which are related to Vedas. Vedas here not only directly relate to the Krishna, Yajus, Sama and Atharva Veda, but also the other Shastras. Okay. So we also have this MA Sanskritam program, which is a very elaborate program where we are giving them the taste of all the Shastras, Sahitya, Vyakarana, Tarka, Mimamsa, Jyotisha, Ayurveda. And we are enabling them to become the next generation teachers. So how to teach the next generation? So we want to create such teachers out of those programs. And also we have this PhD program where serious researchers are encouraged to create technologies using these concepts. So if you are interested, please go through our website. We have many details there. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and being patient with me. Thank you.
One last question we have in the chat window. What are the prerequisites for getting enrolled for MA Sanskrit program?
Yeah. Okay. There is one entrance test. So before going through that entrance test, you have to know basic Sanskritam, the functional Sanskritam, for which we have this Sanskritam 1, 2, 3 courses. So first of all, you can enroll yourself into those courses which are self-paced. And after that, you can go through the SLP test, Sanskrit Language Proficiency Test. If you pass in that test with more than 60%, then you are eligible to take the MA Sanskritam program. Yes, Vishwas is asking, are Vedas available in the form of books? Yes, sir. It is. There are elaborate translations in Hindi. I don't know about Marathi. In Pune, we have this Veda Samshodhana Kendra also. So a lot of literature is there, sir. Okay. So I want to end this session with a small Mangala. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Mahodaya. Namaskar.
Namaste.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಸರ್ವೇಭ್ಯ.